triangle on top. A building with a ledge coming off of it. The building with the ledge is called Edge, E-D-G-E, the tallest open-air observatory. The first famous singer was born in Hoboken in 1915. Who? No guesses? Hoboken's favorite son. He sings a little song about New York, and which old song by Aspen Allen, and Frank made that song famous. It's called New York.
Manga MLTV.
Wow. Wow.
New York. New York. Here, what I was on this one game. So all that time on that Zoom.
Okay guys, welcome aboard Manhattan. My name's Jacob, I'm the tour guide. Welcome to New York, the city so nice they named it twice. New York, New York. Restrooms downstairs in the back of the boat, also refreshments downstairs. So we're on the Hudson River now, heading in the direction of New York Harbor. Manhattan Island on the left. Who knows what's on the right, guys? Nothing much. The state of New Jersey. Some people call it the Garden State. I have no idea why. What they do. More about New Jersey later. Anybody downstairs wants to come upstairs, you can go and go to the back of the boat. Downstairs, we come upstairs and go to the back of the boat. So guys, we're sailing over something right now. Something directly below us. We're sailing right above it. What am I talking about? The Holland Tunnel. Look to our left. Toward the middle of the boat, you'll see the ventilation building for the tunnel. Bringing in air, taking out carbon monoxide every minute or so. On the right-hand side in New Jersey, ventilation building for the tunnel, doing the exact same thing. Holland Tunnel, historic tunnel, built in 1927. One of the first car tunnels built under a river with a mechanical ventilation system, automatically bringing in oxygen, taking out carbon monoxide. Anybody from the Netherlands on board? Good, because the tunnel has nothing to do with you. It's called the Holland Tunnel, but that's because the engineer who built it was named Clifford Holland, who actually died before the tunnel was completed in 1927. But they named it after him anyway. Nice thing to do. Yes, that's a nice sign, right? Okay, good. So guys, I said we're on the Hudson River, but this is not a river at all. What this is an estuary or tidal strait. Why is that? Because it's attached to the Atlantic Ocean. A few yards ahead of us. The water is brackish, and the tides and currents are very strong because of the ocean. It is an estuary or tidal strait from 150 miles north of here to Troy, New York. After Troy, New York, for the next 150 miles, it is a true river. But here it is not. It is an estuary. I figured you guys want to know what you're sailing on. Want to know where you are and what you're sailing on, right? So, this is New York, and you're sailing on an estuary. Let's look to our left, guys, toward the front middle of the boat. And we see a light, it's like Jenga or Legos. That is the Jenga building to our left. A residential building, about 60 stories tall, also known as 56 Leonard Street. Jenga building in the Tribeca area below the western side of Manhattan. I'm making an acronym, standing for Triangle Below Canal Street. Famous actor Robert De Niro. Taylor Swift, you heard of her, haven't you? Also has that home in Tribeca area. We love acronyms in New York City. We have, for example, Soho, NoHo, Alito, Nomo, and Dumbo. Dumbo not an elephant or a Walt Disney character. Dumbo an acronym. And for now, under the Manhattan Bridge overpass. Dumbo is in Brooklyn, guys. I'll talk more about Dumbo when we're near Brooklyn later in our tour. Let's look to our left, guys. Look up as high as you can. At the front of the boat to our left. And you'll see the tallest office building in the entire United States with the skinny antenna on top of it. That is One World Trade Center, formerly called the Freedom Tower. 1,776 feet tall. 1776, the year we declared our independence from Great Britain. 541 meters tall. And the tallest office building in the United States, as I said, with the skinny antenna on top, which actually is not an antenna at all, but considered part of the building. That's why it's the tallest office building in the United States. And where One World Trade Center is today is where the original Twin Towers of the World Trade Center stood. And today is the home of the 9/11 Memorial, 9/11 Museum. I feel a must-see site for all visitors to New York City. Who's been to the 9/11 Memorial Museum? Nobody? Not yet. What are you waiting for, guys? Very important site to visit when you're visiting the Big Apple. Put it on your to-do list, please. 9/11 Memorial, 9/11 Museum, where One World Trade Center is today. Jersey City, New Jersey, to our right, guys. New Jersey's second largest city at 290,000 people. If you were here 50 years ago, you would see none of these buildings that are here today. You would see factories and warehouses built on the Hudson River in Jersey City. What's going on here, friends? Something called gentrification. Hopefully you heard of it. If you haven't heard of it, you should, because it's happening all over the United States and cities around the world. They're becoming gentrified. Look it up, guys. I'm not a teacher anymore. So you have to look it up on Google or one of the other search engines. Starts with a G and ends with an N. Gentrification. Good for some, bad for others. Happening all over the world. Building we see to our right, guys, is the Central New Jersey Train Depot. Opened in 1889. Closed down in 1967. If you go under that bridge, you're heading toward the Atlantic Ocean. That bridge would be considered the entrance or exit to the New York N⁰2. If anybody's heard of Coney Island, historically used area, Brooklyn neighborhood, just to the left of the river, facing the ocean on the other side of the river. We have any Irish friends on board? Sometimes they don't know. How do you know the other people are not? And sometimes they know, sometimes they don't. And the first immigrant to come through our assignment was a young Irish girl named Annie Moore. She was only 15 years old from Cork in Southern Ireland. She came through with her two younger siblings. The last immigrant to come through in 1954 was a Norwegian sailor named between 1892 and 1954. So guys, as we approach liberty enlightening the world, in front of us on the right-hand starboard side, that is the official name of the Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty is a nickname. Liberty enlightening the world, the official name given the statue, when it was dedicated in 1886. If you were listening to the captain earlier, how many were listening? Well, you should have listened, because he would have told you that both sides of the boat will see the statue. First, the right-hand starboard side will see it. Then I'll turn the boat around. Then the left-hand, this beautiful view. I'll be back a little later on. passing right now. To our right is Battery Park. The lowest point of Manhattan Island. This area was a touchy-rich settler city when they arrived in New York in the 1600s. That white boat we see down here, the Statue City Cruises boat. If you want to dock on Liberty Island and or Ellis Island, that's the only way you can do it, by taking Statue City Cruises. The only company authorized to dock on Liberty Island and Ellis Island. And it leaves from Battery Park right there to our right. So that's how you dock there. So behind the trees to our right is the financial heart of not only New York City, but of the entire United States. Because this is the Wall Street area. I pointed out where Wall Street was on the East River, but it is also only a few blocks from the trees are to our right. Financial heart of our country. So what's all this construction going on here, guys?
It's not hot on the floor first.
Well,
Got black
years
top.
ago, there caused billions of dollars of damage to the coastlines of New York, New Jersey, Brooklyn, Queens, Long Island. To then damage the future superstorm. Will it work? I don't know. I'm not an engineer. But what I do know, friends, is there is something going around the world known as climate change. It's causing islands to sink, Manhattan's Island, it is sinking, water levels to rise, storms to be horrific, like never seen before. Tornadoes, hurricanes, tsunamis, floods. So it's happening all over the world. I'm sure you've heard of it. Climate change. So it's more important we do something about climate change and fix these and put band-aids on things. All right, that's enough of my preaching. Okay, guys, this area we're facing right at the front of the boat. It's a relatively new area of Manhattan Island. It's called Battery Park City. New because it's been from the landfill, for the construction of the original Twin Towers of the World Trade Center, as well as other construction projects in Lower Manhattan in the late 1960s. So they took the landfill protected debris from those major construction projects, brought it here to this area we're passing now, and built it up to the beautiful residential, commercial, entertainment retail area it is today. One of the nicest areas to live in Lower Manhattan. Battery Park City to our right. And as you can see, it has a beautiful park on the river to our right. Hudson River Park, where you can bicycle ride, walk, run, relax. In this park to our right, it goes from here, the Battery, all the way past the George Washington Bridge, about 11 miles in front of us on the Hudson River. So friends, we had a miracle occur here a little over 15 years ago. We call it the Miracle on the Hudson. That's when Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger landed his disabled Airbus jet on the Hudson River, saving all 150 passengers and 5 crew members on board. It was a miracle because never before had a jet landed on a river, but thank God no fatalities, only very minor insignificant injuries. So Sully landed his plane up near Midtown Manhattan, a few miles in front of us. And after he landed, he floated on the river in the opposite direction we're heading now, toward the harbor. And boats such as we see to our left, those are known as water taxis. They were the first. Brooklyn, Manhattan, Williamsburg. Very good. Just thinking that now? Excellent. BMW. Those are the BMW bridges. That's the location of the bridges as you go up the East River from Lower Ice Point. Brooklyn, Manhattan, Williamsburg, BMW. I mentioned Dumbo earlier, friends. Look to the right at the end of the Brooklyn Bridge. And in red you'll see a welcome sign. That is Dumbo, Brooklyn. To the right of the Brooklyn Bridge. Down under the Manhattan Bridge overpass. So before we turn, guys, I want to point out Wall Street before we lose sight of it. If you look in front of us on the Manhattan side, you'll see a brownish building, missing windows in the middle of it. To the right of the brown buildings, where those boats are docked, you see a whitish building with scaffolding going up the top of it. In between those two buildings is Wall Street. Between the brownish building missing windows and the white building with the scaffolding. That is historic Wall Street in between those two buildings. Where the New York Stock Exchange is located, and Federal Hall where George Washington was inaugurated, our first president, in 1789. So now we have a nice view of the three bridges to our right, the BMW bridges. Brooklyn, Manhattan, Williamsburg. When our presidents come to visit us here in New York City, they land at that heliport. for that building. And because the Empire State Building was completed during the Great Depression in May 1931, it was very hard to fill up or occupy that building. So it was known as the Empty State Building for many years, because it wasn't full. The only thing that supported it was the observation deck on the 86th floor. Recently renovated, the same one you guys visited. It took about 20 years after it was built, until 1950, to finally fill up that building and make it profitable. Now to the right of the Empire State Building, as we're looking at it, is a new skyscraper that just opened up. This building's in the way, but when it gets out of the way, you'll see a new skyscraper just to the right of the Empire State Building. It has a white sticker on top and a little flashing light. That is known as One Vanderbilt. A new skyscraper opened at 42nd Street and Madison Avenue, one block from Grand Central Terminal. Does anybody know what's inside One Vanderbilt? Observatory just opened. And one more skyscraper I want to point out, guys. It's about 1 o'clock in front of us, 12:30, 1 o'clock. Building with a triangle on top of it. Behind the building with a triangle on top. A building with a ledge coming off of it. The building with the ledge is called the Edge, E-D-G-E, the tallest open-air observatory in North America. So you can go well over 1,000 feet up and have beautiful views of Manhattan and the area from on top of it. Now when I was growing up in New York City, guys, there were only 2 observatories. Empire State Building, of course, on top of the rock in Rockefeller Center, which we cannot see from here, too far east, too far north. Now there are 5 observatories, 3 additional ones in relative recent years. But I'm old school, guys. I like the Empire State Building. There's something you cannot see when you're on top of the Empire State Building. You might know what that is. What? Yes, the Empire State Building itself. You can't see it when you're on top of it. It makes a very nice view when you look. Let's come back to New Jersey, guys. I want to point out something to you. A white sculpture of a woman's head with her index finger covering her mouth. Like this. The name of that sculpture is Water Soul, S-O-U-L, designed by a sculptor from Barcelona, Spain, named Jaume Clensa. So, if you've heard of him, Clensa, he sent that over to New Jersey. So what's that woman doing? Well, she's telling everybody to be quiet. I'm thinking about water. I'm thinking about how important water is to everyone. Because you know, water makes up 70% of our planet's surface. 60% of the human body also made up of water. Before we turn, guys, the building with the clock tower to our left in Hoboken, New Jersey. That's the Hoboken train station. One of the oldest train stations still functioning in the United States, opened in 1907. Does anybody here know what famous singer was born in Hoboken in 1915? Who? No guesses? That's right. Frank Sinatra! Did you say that?
Subscribe to Manga MLTV.
Turn on notification.
Like, share, comment. Manga MLTV.
Wow.